These clowns will break their own ankles trying to juke themselves out of their own positions. Are you guys aware that now there's a woke right? Yeah, apparently. Um, this human venereal disease is going to attempt to explain to you what the woke right is doing.
So, why are we allowing the woke right to try to convince MAGA that the Trump administration and the Department of Justice are suddenly hiding the truth about the Epstein files? Have we not learned anything at all? So, late last night, Axios and other media outlets started reporting that the Trump Department of Justice was releasing the findings of their Epstein files review. And a lot of people are really upset. But the question that I have for you is, did you expect there to be any files at all remaining after the Biden Department of Justice had 4 years to sanitize them? Did you even read this letter? If you haven't, you should. So the question that I have for you is, why do we automatically assume that somebody in the Trump administration is hiding the truth of the Epstein files from us? Why is that the assumption? Why is that the narrative that we're allowing the left and the woke right to push instead of using Occam's razor and actually filtering this through a brain cell? Think about it for a second. The Biden Department of Justice had 4 years to fully sanitize the entire scope of those records to make sure that nothing incriminating remained. Nothing. I mean, Epstein was arrested along with Ghislaine Maxwell. They were both getting ready to face trial. And who was the prosecutor that was responsible for prosecuting them? Jim Comey's daughter had access to every record available. You don't think that Jim Comey's daughter and Jim Comey and all the rest of the Biden Department of Justice and Deep State just allowed those records to just stay there? You think they were just going to let those fall into the Trump administration hands? This letter released from the Department of Justice very clearly articulates exactly what happened in the process that they went through to review every record that they had their hands on, that they were able to get their hands on. And that's the problem. Because all the records prior to being sent to the Department of Justice were held at the Southern District of New York. That's right. The Southern District of New York, where Jim Comey's daughter was the lead prosecutor prosecuting Maxwell and Epstein. And you think that they were just going to hand over things that incriminated potentially the entire deep state, the Democrat Party, and yes, some Republicans? Come on, people. Use your brain. There ain't no way in hell that a single document or tape or record that could have incriminated anybody remains. There ain't no way they were going to let the Trump administration get their hands on that.
So let's just break this down if we could, please. You are convinced that Joe Biden, a man who has never been connected to Jeffrey Epstein, even by rumors, like it's just non-existent. Joe Biden spent 4 years in office sanitizing Donald Trump's name out of Epstein's files. Joe Biden was in the wrong himself for not releasing this information. We should have had this information years ago. Having said that, what you're asserting is not that he wiped out the Democratic deep state. The biggest name associated with Jeffrey Epstein on the planet is Donald Trump. There's video footage of Trump and Epstein partying with young girls. There's there are interviews of Jeffrey Epstein talking about how he was my best friend. There's photographic evidence of Epstein and Trump with young girls. There's the fact that Donald Trump wished Ghislaine Maxwell well when she was arrested, along with all of the other pedophilic acts and words that Donald Trump has displayed over the years. And you're of the opinion that it's not Trump hiding it. Why would Trump hide it now? It's that Joe Biden spent 4 years making sure that nobody saw Donald Trump's name was associated with Jeffrey Epstein. How fucking stupid are you? Were your parents brother and sister before they had you? Did you grow up under power lines? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I don't know why Joe Biden didn't release these files. But if you think Joe Biden sanitized Donald Trump's name out of the files, you are dumb as shit.